JLR investigating this tragedy. Come on in, everyone. We're talking Cortez, Colorado. I don't know if everyone is aware, but the terrible, terrible thing happened earlier in the week. A sergeant with the police department, Cortez, Colorado, lost his life in the line of duty, folks. And he was shot and killed by another man, identified as Jason Campbell of Ogden, Utah. This guy's a bad dude. I did a background check on this guy. He has an extensive criminal record. He's from Ogden. Don't know why he was out in Colorado. But I want to share with everyone a press conference in reference to this because, we got to bring awareness to this. These are law enforcements out there that are putting their lives on the line, and one lost their life. Now, after Campbell shot Sergeant Michael Moran, or Moran, Moran, officers returned fire and killed the suspect. So Jason, and his name is actually Jason Wayne Campbell, 44, he's gone. But let's watch the press conference here, and then we'll talk more about the suspect, the shooter, who is now dead. Let's roll.
Good morning, everybody. Can everybody hear pretty well? I can speak up if I need to. I don't know what the speakers are doing. First off, I'd like to introduce Montezuma County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Steve Allen, and Major Williams with Colorado State Patrol. My name's Vernon Knuckles. I'm the Chief of Police here at Cortez, Colorado. I'm here today to talk about a senseless and somber day. Yesterday at approximately 11:25 a.m., Patrol Sergeant Mike Moran conducted a traffic stop in town on South Broadway. During that traffic stop, the suspect fired on Officer Moran, striking him. The suspect fled the scene, went south of town. Officers from Montezuma County Sheriff's Office, Cortez PD, located the suspect. The suspect engaged officers. Officers fired back and eliminated the suspect at that time. Officer Moran was transported to Southwest Memorial Hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries. I'd like to thank the Sheriff's Office, Colorado State Patrol. Their officers, our officers, were all involved in this incident, and it was definitely a team effort to get the incident under control, taken care of, and investigated. Also, not here with us, CBI. We called in the Colorado Bureau of Investigation to conduct the homicide investigation of Michael Moran. And we also have the district, or what's the shoot team? 6th and 22nd Judicial District shoot team that is investigating the officer-involved shooting that occurred south of town. Both investigations are ongoing, and I'm going to just put it out right now. We do not have a lot of information to share because it is ongoing. I'd like to thank the community. It's been the outreach to all agencies has been tremendous, and it's just getting more and more. So thank you, community, for your support. It is so much appreciated. That's about all I have. Sheriff, do you want to speak about anything?
I can tell you that this incident and this criminal act happened very fast, and it was just within a matter of minutes that the perpetrator involved in the shooting of Sergeant Moran was located and engaged in a second shooting with a deputy from the Montezuma County Sheriff's Office, and an officer from the Cortez Police Department. We do not have any suspects to look for. The community is safe, and this is what our priority was. It's still an ongoing investigation, and this will continue for quite some time. And I wish we had more information that we could share, but that will be at a later time. Do you have any questions of me? Yes, ma'am.
Sir, at the beginning, it was our understanding that there were 2 suspects in that car. I guess, can you go over that initial traffic stop? Was it 2 suspects that were in that car? And do we know whether or not those 2 suspects were the ones that actually fired at Sergeant Moran? Thank you.
2 people in the vehicle, only 1 person was involved in the shooting, that did shooting. And I'll have to refer the rest of that to the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, who is handling that, part of that investigation. Oh, should I get closer?
Please.
Okay.
What were they carrying?
What were they carrying? Such as what?
Drugs?
That's still undetermined. The investigation is still ongoing.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you able to say what prompted the traffic stop in the first place?
The traffic stop was initiated on a reckless driving complaint that the agency received.
And then, can I just ask a clarifying question? So the first incident involving Cortez police, then the suspect was chased to the second location, and then the second shooting involved the county, or was it county and city police as well?
Okay, just to clarify, the traffic stop was conducted. Officer Moran was shot during the traffic stop. The suspect wasn't chased; they fled from the scene, and the second contact was the Montezuma County Sheriff's Office and the Cortez Police Department.
Folks, if you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a mic so everybody can hear your question.
Are you able to reveal any information about the suspects involved in this case? I believe one was arrested. Are you able to identify either of them?
No.
Can you talk about Officer Moran, his time with the police department, and for those of us who didn't get to know him, a little bit about him?
I will be talking about Officer Moran, but not at this time. Okay, looks like questions have slowed down. I do want to conclude with letting everybody know what the priorities of the Cortez Police Department are. First and foremost is Officer Moran's family. That is our priority right now. Second is our agency. That's our second priority. And third is the investigation. And I assure you that the investigation, although third on our priority list, is still very high. However, Officer Moran's family and my agency is my top priority at this point. Thank you guys for coming out. We got one more question. Okay.
So, will there be charges moved forward? Ultimately, my question is, will this move through a court proceeding, and then will that initiate the victim's crime fund? Is that what it's called? The city has a purse for that to help out. Could you talk about that for a second?
We're not going to be able to talk about any charges coming forward until the investigation's concluded.
Well, wouldn't that trigger
I don't believe there's a trigger.
a defense fund for the victim or the victim's family?
I know what you're talking about on that, but I can't answer exactly what triggers that.
Sure. But will it be in place for this scenario?
it's a possibility, and we're looking at multiple areas for victims that we're making contact and trying to tap into. So.
Thank you, Steve. I know you're limited in what you can say here today. Can you just talk about the size of the Cortez Police Department? Trying to get an estimate.
Yeah,
How you guys?
our agency as a whole is, we have 57 members, and our certified are 31.
Okay, thanks. On guns, was there just one that the suspects had, or were there multiple weapons? You know, there was a shootout too, I guess.
We're not going to be able to answer that question due to the ongoing investigation.
What about release of any video? Was there body cam or dash cam video?
There are, and again, I would have to refer you to CBI about that, because CBI is the primary investigating agency.
Sure. And the suspect who was taken into custody, has he been cooperative at all? Is he talking to you guys? Are you learning anything?
I'm going to turn it over to the sheriff.
Okay. At the second scene, there was another person that was in this vehicle. There is nobody in custody. No one has been arrested. And so that is a rumor that has gone around. That's not true. Okay? And as far as the identity of either person, we do not know, and I cannot give you that information. I would refer you to the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, as well as the Montezuma County Coroner's Office. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
On the suspect who was killed yesterday,
Yes.
had you had any previous, either agencies had any prior contacts with that individual?
Again, we don't have the positive identification of this person at this time, so I can't answer that question.
And finally, were there any witnesses yesterday?
Plenty of witnesses, yes. Yes, sir.
Are you able to say if the suspect who was killed was the same suspect who fired at Sergeant Moran?
Yes.
It was?
He said nobody was arrested, but apparently somebody else was. Since I know that the primary focus is trying to be there for this family in need, is there any way we can know what their needs are, sign up to be able to help this family, and be able to reach out to them in any way, shape, or form that they need, whether it's food to their home, help with anything? Is there something like that posted somewhere where we can sign up? Is there anything like that in place? Is anything like that been coordinated?
So we're working on that right now. I reached out to the Fallen Heroes Foundation in Colorado. They sent a delegation down last night. The rest of their team is en route as we speak. So as they get set up and running, we are going to be putting information out through our social media sites on where people can help. I don't want to get off into the weeds, but there are some GoFundMes and some other things that are popping up for this, and I would encourage people not to contribute to those. The Fallen Hero Foundation is going to have a fund if you wish to contribute that you can contribute to. So as soon as they get set up and running, and we're working as fast as we can to get this going and information out, we will get it on social media and share it. And if you guys would then share it yourselves, so we can get it out to as many people as we can and get this help and resources to this family, would be much appreciated.
I had one clerical question. So I believe the original traffic stop happened in front of the Handy Mart on Broadway. How far away did the suspects drive before they were located by officers?
Approximately 3/4 of a mile to a mile from where the Handy Mart is on South Broadway in Cortez.
Was that shootout in front of any businesses, or
No.
was it residential or anywhere?
No, it was within private property.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, everybody. I'm going to conclude this. I really appreciate you coming out for this. You guys have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. All right, everyone. So that was a press conference. It was yesterday, and they didn't reveal the name of the suspect who shot and killed and murdered Sergeant Michael Moran. Well, that's who he is right there. That's the guy right there. His name is Jason Wayne Campbell, aka Jason Campbell. He's 44 years old. He is from Ogden, Utah. This is the guy, according to a report that just came out by CBS News, they identified him as the shooter. Ultimately, like you heard from the press conference, there was someone else in a vehicle with him. He ran off after he killed the officer, and then or the sergeant officer, and then in a different location. Then there was a shootout. He began to shoot more, try to shoot at more, including the county sheriff, deputies, and they killed him. They killed him. So he's no longer alive. But why and how this happened has my curiosity a little bit about Sergeant Moran, that they said that he's been with the police. He's been with the police department since 2012. He served as a K-9 officer. He's also served 2 combat tours in Iraq as a U.S. Marine. He also leaves behind 2 daughters and many friends and family. Probably rocked the community here, no doubt. This is an officer that lost his life in the line of duty. This guy did it, but he's no longer around. But who is this guy, right? Who is this guy? He's originally from Ogden. Believe that he is from Ogden. And what was he doing in Cortez? Because I look on the map here, and my map shows that it is 383 miles from Ogden to Cortez. It's a 6-hour and 10-minute drive. So what is this guy doing in Cortez, Colorado, and why? Why? And we always want to try to understand who these people are on JLR Investigates. We always want to know who the bad guys are, right? Almost like a public shaming. That's what we're doing right now, a public shaming. Well, this guy, and I got his record rap sheet on this guy right here, 44 years old. And he's a bad dude. He's a bad dude. He has lots and lots of charges. And I'm just wondering, I'm starting to suspect, because he had like current charges of retail theft, and he's also been in the Utah Department of Corrections for numerous type of crimes like burglaries. I'll read all the charges. He was a fugitive from justice in 2020. Makes me believe probably most likely he probably had a warrant out for his arrest, and probably did Sergeant Moran did probably a traffic stop on him. And he knew he was going to run his name, and he knew that he probably has some warrants. It looks like warrants out of Weber, W-E-B-E-R, Utah. That's what it looks like. Drug charges, the current cases. So I'm figuring possibly a warrant for his arrest, and he didn't want to be taken in custody. So what does he do? He, goes out the hard way, which I just can't understand that. I can't understand someone that would pull a gun out on an officer because they don't want to be taken into custody. Or he might not have a warrant. Maybe he just didn't like law enforcement. There had to be a reason why this guy would done this to this officer, leaving behind just the damage that's done here. His criminal records, this is a mugshot that I obtained. This is the first time anyone seeing this mugshot, because I was Googling around. It's very hard to get. But JLR gets the goods. And he has numerous burglaries and drug charges out of Utah, Weber, W-E-B-E-R, Ogden District Court. He has a bunch of traffic violations, too. He also has a charge from a few years back for burglaries, discharging a firearm from a vehicle. In 1998, he had a charge a third-degree felony charge of discharging a firearm from his vehicle. So deja vu here, folks. Deja vu. So he did it before where he shot a gun out of his vehicle, and now he's done it again. Unbelievable. A lot of people's track records always repeats themselves, right? This guy has 4 different burglary charges from the 90s, illegal use of substance, and then he has a lot of vehicle infractions, seatbelt violation, operating cars, vehicle without a muffler, noise control, vehicle unsafe conditions, more drug charges, possession of a dangerous weapon charge. In 2008, he was sentenced to 81 months in prison. It looks like 81 months. That's what it looks like. Forgery. He has an assault charge in 2007. He has a charge in 2008, January 14th, of assault on a healthcare provider. Class A misdemeanor. Assault on a healthcare provider. Why would he assault a healthcare provider? It's very, very wild stuff. So, off and on for the last 20 years, this guy has been in and out of prison and arrested for charge of speeding, failure to yield right away, more controlled substance, 2021, possession of controlled substance, drive with measurable control, sustain. I don't know what that is. All these charges, retail theft in 2021, March of 2021. Another theft charge in 2020 in Ogden. What did he get for the assault of the healthcare worker? It was a guilty verdict. So yeah, this guy, habitual criminal, couldn't accept responsibility, and then had to take out a officer who had a family's life. It's just unbelievable and shocking. But share this guy's image. This guy's also, let me just share if I can. He has some judgments against him, recent judgments against him. I can't actually see this, what for, but you can look, for yourself. He is from Ogden, Utah, and his name is Jason Wayne Campbell, also known as Jason R. Campbell. And why he was in Cortez, who was he with, who was with him, and why wasn't this other person charged? Other person was let go. But it's a whole sad situation. It's officers. It's very, very sad when they lose their life in the line of duty, and it's becoming very, very dangerous nowadays to pull people over for officers. I'm, covering true crime. I have sources, law enforcement sources, and people have told me before, particularly, troopers, that they don't like to pull over people at night anymore. At night, now I think this incident occurred during the day, but they don't like to pull people over at night anymore unless you really, really, really have to. But if you're out there on a highway and you pull somebody over in the middle of the night for just speeding, I mean, that's a risk, folks. That's a risk. You don't know who's behind the wheel. You don't know who's who anymore in these vehicles and stuff like that. So they did say they have body cam footage, so maybe they will release the body cam footage very, very soon. I'd like to see more and like to get more details about this particular guy right here. But that's pretty much it on this particular case. Just wanted to bring awareness. Praying for that officer's family for sure, and the community of Cortez, Colorado, which looks like it's right on the south. Like it looks like it's like in the four corners. You ever the four corners of the United States? The states were all four little corners to connect. Utah, Arizona, Colorado, and New Mexico. So Cortez is like literally the town there. It doesn't look like a big town. It doesn't look like a big community. I don't even know the population there. They said they had, I guess, 30 something officers there, or 50 officers, or somewhere in that. Cortez, Colorado population. I just want to get the population of that area. It's 8,000 people. That's not a lot. In Montezuma County, Colorado. So it's probably the first time in the history probably that they lost law enforcement in the line of duty. So just praying for everyone out there, and be safe, man. Everyone be safe. As we always say, stay vigilant. It's a wild world out there. There's a lot of wacky people that do egregious and bad things. We say no to violence on JLR Investigates, but we also expose it. We also expose and share who these people are and what they're about. So let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, like, hit the notification button. Pray. Prayers up. Everyone be safe. We'll talk later. Until next time, I'm JLR Investigates. We will talk soon. Stay tuned.